Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for inviting us to your home for the Easter Sunday.
I am so glad you came to visit Mo.
What's your name?
My name is Mary Ella Jackson.
What do you do for a living?
I am a teacher. I teach eighth grade math.
And how long have you been teaching for?
I've been teaching for 15 years. This was a second career for me before I was an engineer. And so teaching is a very family friendly career. And so it just gave me a little bit more flexibility than engineering did.
Uh, what do you like about teaching?
I think I like the opportunity to help children see what they can become. I also like the idea that I can be creative with my lessons to try to figure out what helps children learn.
What's the most challenging you think about teaching?
I think most challenging nowadays is the number of kids that are sick because of COVID, or the number of kids that have big gaps in their learning because of COVID. That makes it very challenging. Also, I think we have a lot of parents that don't take parenting seriously, and that makes it hard on teachers because that means we have to also be a parent.
Like, uh, can you give me an example of the parent is not really doing a parenting job?
Yes, we have children that are on social media because they have these cell phones,
Right?
and the parents put no restrictions on them. And so, therefore, I can be in the middle of a lesson teaching, and a parent will call or a parent will text their child. And our rule in our classroom is I should not see your phone. But they'll say, but Miss Jackson, my mama's trying to call me. And then, even if their parent is not trying to call them, I have children that are so into social media and they're so into the games that they can play on their phones that the phones really become a distraction.
So, in that case, how do you handle the kid?
We have a strict rule at our school. If I see your phone, I take it down to the office and you get it at the end of the day. If it happens more than once, then a parent has to come and get it. So, if all the teachers would follow that, we'd be in good shape. But some teachers are a little less lenient.
So, I have a question about this. Some people from my country, they want to be a teacher. What kind of stuff do they have to do to become a teacher?
Well, in the United States, we have a lot of schools that have teaching degrees. But what is more in fashion now is for people that don't have teaching degrees to just take a praxis, which is a test of knowledge, right? But I do think there's so much benefit into actually getting a teaching certificate, whether it's through a master's program, because you really need that hands-on
MED,
experience. Yep, I
Master
have
in
an MED.
Education.
Yeah, I have a master's in education.
So after your engineering degree, you went to the master in education to become a high school teacher.
Exactly. And what happens is you decide which area you want to specialize in. And in Tennessee, we have to practice all subject areas. But in North Carolina, that's not necessarily the case. And in Virginia, that's not necessarily the case. But in Tennessee, in order to get a master's in education, I had to practice through all subjects.
But do you think like being a teacher get a good pay?
No, no. We are losing teachers every day because, teaching is not an 8 to 5 job. Literally, I teach all day and then I have to come home and grade papers, or I have to come home and create lessons, or I have to use my weekends to be ready. So, nah,
It's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work. Um, it looks easy, and we've all been to school, so we think it should be easy, but the children that we teach today are not the children that we were. And so teaching is a lot more difficult now than it was many years ago when my parents were teachers.
So I like your home. Your home is really pretty.
Thank you.
And you build your home by yourself?
We did not. We purchased the home when it was 6 years old.
Oh, okay. You built your beach house by
That's
yourself.
right. We did. We built the other home that's on the ocean from
So,
the ground up. We tore a house down and then we built our house.
your home on the beach is a 7 bedroom
Right.
beach
and,
house.
And 8.5 baths.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the key there is I did not want to build a house. but my husband did. And so sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do.
Okay, that's awesome. But you live in a beach house, and you live with this is a river,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So pretty.
Thank
You
you.
you are so relaxing.
Thank you.
Enjoying your
you.
life.
Yes, yes. We decided that we wanted to move. We were inland in Tennessee, and we decided that we wanted to move to the coast so that we could get ready to retire. And we wanted to live on the water. My husband did. He wanted a boat and he wanted a house on the water. So he got a boat and he got 2 houses on the water. So, yeah,
So your husband is a physician.
my husband is a surgeon, yes.
In what area?
He is an ear, nose, and throat surgeon, and he did not only 4 years of medical school, but he also did, I think, 2 years of general surgery residency, as well as 4 more years of the specialized ear, nose, and throat surgery before he could start working.
And then you have 3 kids. And it, Janelle and your son, John is a pharmacist.
That's right. I have 2 children that are pharmacists, and then I have one that works with the state of Tennessee as a mental health advisor. Yeah,
I see. You raised a great kid.
I'm very fortunate, very, very blessed.
How did you meet your husband?
I met my husband when I was in junior high school. My best friend said, I want you to meet somebody. And she ran track, and she had met my husband, who lived 100 miles from our little hometown, at a track meet. And I said, well, I don't think I want to meet anybody. But she said, yes, you want to meet him. And of course, things went well. And we just communicated a little bit. But it wasn't until about, I guess, maybe 5 years later, when I was at the university, because I went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, which is where he's from. As a freshman, he claimed me as his girlfriend. So we went together, I guess, maybe a year or 2, and then we broke up for 4 years because when he went off to medical school, he went to the other end of the state, to Memphis. And so,
Your high school sweetheart.
yes,
And then you stay madly in love. I can tell by looking at your face.
I'm very blessed, very, very blessed, and he's a very sweet, honorable man.
Yeah. That's why you can choose the career you wanted to, right?
Exactly. And honestly, a lot of people don't choose teaching because they can't support their family. And I
Right.
was very fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what I suggest people from my country that if you choose the teaching career, you may not survive as an immigrant,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
As an immigrant, I suggest them to become in a nursing career. I mean, pharmacy is a long way, so I suggest them to be a nurse 4-year degree, or the engineer degree, which can get a good pay.
Good pay right away.
Yeah, and or a computer science, right?
Right.
So if they choose a teaching, they may not have a lot of good pay in it, unless they have someone who can support, like your husband, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you're so blessed you can do whatever you like in your life.
Exactly. And I think we also make sacrifices, right? And if your heart is really into teaching, then you have to be willing to make some sacrifices because it's not as financially viable
Right.
for some young families.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But do you think what kind of teaching level is good? Like in a middle school, high school? Do you think professors make good pay?
I think they do. I think they may. I think what happens is the universities pay a lot better than the public schools.
Yeah, probably they can teach. They can do a teaching assistant and then go for a PhD and then get a teach in a university as a professor.
Right. Right. If that's what you're gonna do, yeah.
Yeah, they have to follow their passion.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
why, because you have to wake up every morning and then go to your work. You need to like your job, right?
Exactly.
Thank you very much for everything, Miss Jason.
And I appreciate you, Mo. I'm so glad I got a chance to talk with you today. And I would like to wish all of your followers a very happy Easter and a very special and blessed week.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.